if I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
It's a bloody Tuesday. What's up, everybody?
It's some unprofessional ass shit, man.
I'm not saying nothing.
Listen, I was confusing in that chat.
Jesus Christ.
For clarity, this is the first week we haven't had a Monday meeting.
That's not true.
That's not true. We didn't have a schedule.
We missed a couple of those. Maybe y'all did, and I was working.
It's because we officially canceled the Monday.
I'm not
meeting.
privy
I'll put
to
it
those
there.
meetings, guys. I don't know.
This is literally the week that we canceled, like the rest of them.
We got nothing for today, but we have a great episode today because we got Matt Schorr in the back who we're gonna bring out in a second. Figure we'll just talk a little bit of anime, Attack on Titan, some stuff, some fun stuff, maybe some monster stuff. This is probably gonna be a more of a shoot the shit episode after we're done talking about Matt's new Kickstarter, which you can actually go into the description, the links to get the full series for Moby Dick. Monster of the Deep, basically, pretty much. So the link is in the Kickstarter. We're going to play that commercial in a second so you guys can see it. But do we want to go to some announcements real quick? Let's get that done. Yeah, I'm like half asleep. Anyway, announcements. Here we go. Medusa's Cascade every Saturday. Make sure you guys are tuning in on Spotify. The Medusa's Cascade is there for you guys every we're on like episode 60.
We're dropping episode 70 this week. I'm doing the intro for it. I already shot it over to Tommy. But episode 70 comes out this week, not only on Spotify, but most places you can find podcasts. So Apple, Google, Stitcher, and Google. The whole works. Go for it.
And then we got Inbeon Con online August 20th and 21st. So we're looking forward for that one. Again, this is going to be a great show. There's a lot of planning going into there. If you guys saw last year's show, definitely was an awesome show. Give a shout out to everyone who participated. And just to give you guys also too, Inbeon has also started a podcast that is pretty much going to be like monthly. We had one, they did for their first episode. It's leading into the con. It's called Three Creators. George, Medina, Chandra, and Rodney Fyke were the first three guests. Matt Schorr, who's on the episode today, Vera, and Micheal Grassia will be the guests on next week's episode because next week the new episode will air for that as well. But that's it for announcements. We're done with that. I'm going to play this beautiful commercial that Matt sent us because this has been a fun journey to see Matt get these Kickstarters going, and we want to congratulate him on pretty much getting fully funded, but also too, again, you guys want to support this Kickstarter to add this to your collection. I mean, yeah, let's play like you said, Val. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
More than 100 years ago, a white whale ravaged the high seas and disappeared.
Today, that white whale's back.
Moby Dick Back from the Deep is the one and only comic book sequel to Herman Melville's classic. And in it, the white whale is back in modern times, now as a zombified beast, causing chaos and devastation everywhere it goes. We just wrapped up the final issue of this series, so this Kickstarter is your chance to read the entire horrifying tale from beginning to end. Now, if that's all the information you need to make your decision, and you want to stop this video here, hey, I understand. But there is an interesting backstory to this series that I'd like to tell. We've actually been doing this thing for 4 years. It's hard to believe, but I checked back on when we posted the first page, and that's how far back it goes. This thing began as a humble webcomic, and just wanted to get the story out there. Interest kept growing. It was slow at first, but it started building, getting bigger and bigger. When it was big enough, we took a stab at printing the first issue. That worked. People liked it. So we kept going. And then we started showing up on different things. Podcasts, web shows, blogs. I even did a few interviews on newspaper and radio. Now, luckily, I never showed up on a television news studio because, let's just face it, this is not a place for television. But people seem to like this story. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride. And it's bittersweet to see it close. But here's hoping that we end things on a very big note. Before I close this video, I want to make sure to mention a big part of the success, not only the people who supported us along the way, and big thanks to all of you who did that, but I want to make sure and mention Joe Bilasic's artwork. It's second to none. It's exactly what this story needed. It's fantastic. It's surreal, it's dark, it's grim, it's lovely. Thanks so much for your support. I hope you'll join in again, and enjoy the ride.
So all the way from Schorr Manor.
Golf clap. That was pretty dope.
Snaps.
There we go. So all the way from Schorr Manor, bringing with him Moby Dick, Monster of the Deep, the one, the only, returning Matt Schorr.
Matt, you're allowed to bring the book. You cannot literally bring Moby Dick on the show. I don't think that'll work. Just saying.
You wouldn't fit in my office, that's for sure.
Welcome back.
Complain. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. It's always a treat being with you guys. So yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Same here.
Yes, it's always good to have you on and to chat with you about what you're working on and all of the crazy characters you've been making. From when you first jumped on and we had no idea who the fuck Matt Schorr was. And we were like, this guy is delightful.
Yeah. Absolutely love to have you on.
Oh, yeah. You're going to make me blush. Stop it.
So
you are ending your run with Moby Dick. ¿Qué pasa?
I know. Thank you. Yeah, it's bittersweet.
How does it feel, man? You know, you've gotten to create this entire series and seeing every single issue get fully funded. How does it feel, this bittersweet ending? And again, take us on this journey of Moby Dick and what we can expect in this very final fourth issue.
Yeah, what brought this on? What brought this on to all right, we're gonna close.
Okay, well, it was always the plan to do 5 issues. From the very beginning, I had the whole story planned out, and yeah, I shopped it around a few places. I didn't have much luck, and then I just thought, I want to tell this story. I'm putting it out there, and if only 12 people read it, then by golly, that's what I'm going to do. So I just started doing it as a webcomic. People started reading it, and by last count, it had like over 100,000 hits. So somebody was taking notice.
Nice.
And yeah, we just started. We said, maybe there's enough interest to do a printed comic. Maybe we can do a Kickstarter. I'd never done a Kickstarter before. And I guess the most important lesson I learned with Kickstarters is no matter how much you study and research ahead of time, you still don't know anything about it. I'm still figuring this thing out. Yes. Anyway, that's 4 years ago, and just kept plugging along with that to the point that we're at now. And like I said, it's bittersweet because I'm immensely proud that we finished. So many independent projects don't get finished, but we did. We're done. Like the art is finished, and we have reached our goal. So we're definitely going to print. So I can't say enough about how proud I am of that and how grateful I am to Joe for his artwork. But it's also kind of sad because for 4 years, this whale has been a big part of my life. I'm known online. I'm known as the guy who does the whale comic. So it's like, what am I going to do now? I got these other ideas I can do, and I'm definitely going to do them. I'm not going to just leave them in my head bouncing around, but it's like, it's kind of hard to let this thing go, because where I'm at now, really all of it has to do with the fact that I decided to start putting this comic out there.
Do you feel like Ahab in a sense where you're like, I'm going to catch this whale? Like you're so close. You're so close to that story being done.
I guess in a sense, kind of, yeah. A little bit like Ahab, since I give him a little bit of I'm not going to put too many spoilers, but things don't work out quite as badly for him in my story as they did the first time around for him.
Mm. And so with it being finished, are you looking to take it to a different medium? Or are you just kind of going to just let it rest, let it be what it is, and if something becomes of it in the future, then something becomes of it?
I'm going to poke around a bit.
Okay.
See what kind of interest might still be out there. Check around, say, hey, look, I've done 5 Kickstarters. They all worked, and it only got bigger with each one. I think there's really something to this. Maybe some of the folks who didn't pay much attention to me before, maybe they'll pay attention now. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
For sure.
We want movie, bro. We want movie, please. Sci-fi. Let's go.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be the perfect sci-fi movie. It's so up their alley.
Really the way I started this story was the whole idea. I wanted it to start out feeling exactly like yet another Sci-Fi Channel, monster shark movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then right right when you think that's where it's going, give this major hard left turn, and that's where we went into Pirates of the Caribbean territory.
Did I see a zombie Abe Lincoln in there for a second? Is that something that I saw?
I believe that was Ahab.
Oh.
I'm gonna remember that one though.
There you go. Just giving ideas right there.
Oh man.
Next Kickstarter.
Oh, man.
He's already hunted vampires. Surely he can.
Oh god, that
Right.
movie was awful. Oh my goodness.
But it was
The idea was okay,
bad that it was almost good.
You know,
Right.
side note, have any of you read the book?
I didn't.
No.
I thought about it because
right.
of the because I
That's
remember
why
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies was the first one, and then
Yes.
they did Abe Lincoln Zombie Hunter, and I was like, oh, this is a cool concept. And they did the movie, and
that movie, part of why it's so infuriating is because the book is really good. I loved that book, and when the movie was coming out, I was
Always
excited.
like that.
Yeah, now I'm not going to say that it's Shakespeare, but I really got into that book.
yeah, but that's okay. Like if you that's the type of book where you see it and you're like, I'm gonna positively judge this by the cover because I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, and it had this awesome line where Abe at a young age kills some kind of vampire that's been terrorizing their family, and his dad is yelling at him for it. He's like, because you've done this, more are going to come after us now, right? And the chapter ends with Abe Lincoln just kind of nodding and said, I guess I'm going to need more steaks. It's like when I got to that point in the book, it's like, I'm going to like this.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
sounds fun.
then they did
Probably
the movie.
gonna make me read it.
There you go. It's light reading right there.
I mean, listen, if you're gonna go down this either taking old stories or going down historical fiction with zombies, I'm definitely here for it.
Can you imagine Washington with his wooden teeth? Just Washington's wooden teeth.
I think that needs to happen. You just take classic or historical figures and just throw them into some sort of monster universe.
And Tommy has to be the final issue has to be Tommy coming in like a special one-stop cleaning up the mess.
Tommy just he's getting the phone call. Hey, can you take care of this?
I will only agree to that film if Tom Matthews agrees to play Tommy because he's completely designed after Tommy Jarvis from Jason Part 6.
That's great.
We're gonna get this campaign going. If he had Tommy Mathis, if you're hearing that now, please. But again, guys, if you don't know, this is Matt Schorr in the description for that awesome Kickstarter video that we played. A shout out.
Show.
For that awesome Kickstarter video we played in the beginning, Moby Dick, Back from the Deep. The Kickstarter link is in there. It is the final issue of a chapter that Matt is closing. You want to go support this. Matt, what are some of the Kickstarter categories that people can expect to, pretty much describe to there and some of the rewards?
Sure, we've got the basics. You can get whichever issue you want, 1 through 5, digital or in print. And for example, here's one of those print ones here. Wanted to make sure and had that, show that off like Vanna White. You can. That's the obvious ones. We also threw out options where you can get a bundle, where you can get every single issue. If you've never heard of me before and this is your first time hearing of it, you want to get the whole thing, go for it. If you just want to start with the first one, that's cool too. Along with that, we've got options where I used to offer where I could get people drawn into it, but since it's done, I can't do that anymore. But we do have a thank you page that we'll be happy to welcome people onto. And then just add-ons we put together where people, if they wanted to, also get some of my other stuff. I've got other books out there like we've mentioned it already, Monster Hunter for Hire with the famous Tommy, along with one that I'm famous for at conventions, Jesus Christ Demon Slayer. Not to mention some of my literary works. I've got young readers books like Attack of the Zombiesaurus Rex. So you can see a definite theme in the type of stuff that I write about. And I guess one thing I should definitely mention, one of the things that my wife and I did over the pandemic to keep ourselves busy, we started coming up with a bunch of different spooky t-shirt designs. So along with all the other add-ons, if you'd like to get a spooky t-shirt from us, we're offering several of those as well. And since we've already reached one of our stretch goals, we're going to have a drawing for everybody who ordered a print copy. One of those lucky people will get a free t-shirt, and this isn't necessarily the t-shirt that we'll give away, but here's one of the examples of the things we've done. I don't know how well we can see it in there, but anyway, there it is.
Nice.
There
you go. There you go.
There it is. If you like football, there's a fun.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Cool.
Just that gave me Mutant League vibes right there.
Yeah.
But no, man. Though when you first came on, again, looking at the artwork, story, and seeing from where it comes, there goes all 5 issues. Again, it makes me happy and seeing when people get their Kickstarters fully completed, and then also too, you're getting to close out a series that you had started, and again, want to just congratulate you, man, on that. There you go, Jesus Christ, right there.
There he is. And I'll tell you guys the same thing I tell so many people when they stare at it at conventions. I say, just so you know, that was drawn 4 years before Jason Momoa became famous. I had all those ready to print, and then I saw Aquaman, and I was like, son of a.
Oh yeah.
What were the odds?
He stole your thunder. That's
he was a couple years removed of Khal Drogo by then, but before Aquaman.
It's a natural progression. Khal Drogo, Aquaman, Jesus.
Yeah, and then I think there's in between he was He-Man or he was
Conan.
Conan.
That god awful Conan movie.
That god awful Conan movie. Yes.
I got 5
I'm
minutes
glad
into
I
that
avoided that
rough.
one.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, you didn't miss anything there.
So, but when you make
But
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Momoa is
look
always
like,
good to look at.
Oh.
that's fair. That's fair.
If you're gonna get anything, you'll get you'll get the hot sweats from watching them, right? Like,
I gotta speak for the girls.
But to Matt's point, he said that if you make Arnold's version looks better, then we have a problem.
Arnold's version though is like it's like classic camp. Like that's like it's so hard when you
Still trash.
It's still trash. It's still classic camp.
I'll say this about Arnold's version. The very first one, I forget the director, but that director made a really good movie. Again, I'm not going to say it's like Oscar worthy, but it's like that's a really good comic book barbarian sword and sorcery movie. Then they made Conan the Destroyer, and
it's went out the window.
Still better than Jason Momoa's version, though.
There you go.
I don't know. I would say yes, but also too, I would have to say that after seeing Schwarzenegger play Hercules in his debut movie, I'm like, oh wow, Hercules in New York.
I don't remember him playing Hercules.
Oh my god! If you want some form of entertainment before you go to bed, look up the Arnold Schwarzenegger Hercules movie and make sure you find it when it's his voice and not the dubbing they did over his voice.
Yeah, they did it.
It's not in English?
No,
it is in English.
It was when he was first an actor and his accent was so thick that they dubbed over it.
Get out. Is this before Terminator 1?
Yeah. This is before. Like this is before all he was. This is when he was just a
bodybuilder.
Is this before Pumping Iron 2? I mean,
yep, it was before Pumping Iron 2.
Yeah, it was old.
Hercules in New York? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Is that how it was terrible? Okay.
Listen to her. That's 2 hours of your life you'll never get back.
Yeah, just like
it looks like it's on Amazon
way
Prime.
before.
Just look up the clips. I don't know if you want to sit through that whole thing.
Don't sit through the whole thing.
Just
the clips might be worth
clip.
it.
Like he fights a fucking bear in Central Park.
The bear. It's a dude in a bear suit, so they're trying to make you think it's a bear, and then you can see the zipper on the back of the bear
you guys
suit.
are not selling it. Thanks, I appreciate.
That's how bad.
That's how we're supposed to sell.
I appreciate.
Yeah, no, it's for how bad it is.
I just didn't know it existed.
No. Listen, don't listen to Seabass and watch the whole movie. Just watch like a couple clips just to get it. Like
fighting a bear in a suit. That's enough to know it's trash. It's okay.
There's a scene when he's walking with Zeus, and he's got a thunderbolt in his hand, and it looks like a fucking hanger that was bent in the shape of a thunderbolt.
Really?
He's just walking with it in his hand. It's rough.
Oh my
It's a tragic comedy, Micheal.
1969.
Yeah. And then
all of that is a testament to like the genius of the director of Conan the Barbarian, because he said, you know what? No, we don't need dialogue. Nobody has to talk. Conan can be very stoic and quiet, and that'll be fine.
Yep. Just he barely wears anything. He's got a big sword, and he's just going off.
Yep. And we'll just let James Earl Jones over here talk, and you guys
have to see it. I promise you won't be disappointed.
No, thanks. I'll pass, Micheal. It's not something I'm looking to watch.
It is one of the best worst movies to ever watch and make fun of, and you're like, dude, this is yeah. If there was any time to legally smoke to watch a movie and laugh, that is one of those movies. Thank you, Paul Schorr, for bringing that up.
I mean, if you think it's definitely like a mystery science theater type of thing.
Hey, what's going on, George?
What's up, George?
Hey.
Like if we didn't get pulled, like we could do a mystery science theater watching it, but we'd probably get pulled immediately, even though you can find the movie on YouTube and just rip on it the whole time because it's that bad.
How did Mystery Science Theater not get their hands on that? Were they just
I think it's probably because it wasn't
worth watching.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, it wasn't sci-fi.
Oh wow!
I think you could say that about everything.
I feel like you're giving Mystery Science Theater too much credit. Their bar is really low.
Their bar is very low.
Pong.
I mean, I'm looking at just pictures of this, and it's
bad, but it's funny. But it is so bad that you're gonna laugh. That's like, wow, how did this get made? And hence there's a show called How Did This Get Made, and they talked about it in front of a live audience in Manhattan, and they played clips of the movie, and it was just funny watching Paul Scheer and Zooks just rip this movie apart on stage.
yeah. I'll pass.
Bad, man.
So
I feel like everyone has that one movie that like in their career they're like, we don't talk about it. I don't bring it up in things. Like Ryan Reynolds has Green Lantern and whatnot. This for Arnold, he's like, I don't remember doing that movie. I guarantee he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
the problem is
Probably.
so Matt, you are also Attack on Titan fan. You've been watching it. You've been keeping up with it. So what have you been thinking about Attack on Titan so far and everything? Your thoughts and all that.
Well, to be more accurate, I've been reading it. That's
Ooh.
because I don't have. Well,
All right.
it's
Okay,
not
so
Are you
so
up
I'm
to
gonna-
date on reading it?
no.
Okay.
That's why I haven't watched, because I have kids and I don't have any time to myself anymore.
Yeah, definitely
I
not
know
a
the feeling.
definitely not a family friendly show. I can tell you that. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's one of those
exactly.
nighttime animes.
So I think I watched I got to watch the first 2 episodes and they were good. It's just that I never got to follow up. So that's where I just kept reading it. It's one of those where it's like, wow, this is really good. And
Well, they keep it really close to the anime, fortunately, and it's just being able to see it actually in live action is just a different excitement.
Yeah.
The irony with Attack on Titan for me is that until I read it, I hated anime, because when I was in college, a bunch of my friends were like, you've got to watch anime. You'll love it. And they just kept force feeding me all this anime. And I got so sick of it and I hated it. And I wanted nothing to do with any anime. And then I started reading that book.
That's funny.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
I guess
Coming in hot.
there's different types. There are different types.
Listen, friend, you can take Bible Black and go to the back. All right.
Oh, where was I again?
Hating anime. Hating anime.
Yeah.
Hating anime.
I feel like anime is like food or like alcohol. You kind of like have to know your flavor and like what you like. You have to
And you have to have a good friend to guide you.
Yeah.
Because
You do.
if you have
Not
a
a
friend like
Seabass.
Seabass,
Right. You're right.
if you have a friend like Seabass who, to give the man credit, in the wall of shit he will throw on the wall, the ones that stick are good, but there's a lot that slide down, right? So like when you want to bring someone into
Like a
anime,
goddamn
you need
Jackson Pollock painting.
you gotta figure out, all right, what should you watch? So like, oh, you want to recommend Naruto if you want to watch a long-winded series, if you want to watch something short, Full Metal Brotherhood or some, or like
Demon
pick and
Slayer is
choose.
a good one to start
you
with,
know,
I think.
yeah.
For people just starting now. I think
Yeah.
it's a short, direct, and it's good art. It's a good story. I think that's a good one to start with. I've been giving that out with people who are interested in trying out and seeing what's going on.
Yeah, I know back then, like when we were all starting to watch it though, like they weren't serialized, so like it would just be on forever, and you couldn't like figure out when the arcs were. So if you told someone to watch this, they're watching shit for the rest of their life. Where now we get to wake. I mean, listen, we all had LimeWire when we were in high school, right? Like, come on now.
Right.
But yeah, no. So yeah, you had your friends who were guiding you down the rabbit hole of anime, but just force feeding you to get into it.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think one of the reasons Attack on Titan works for me is because it's essentially a zombie story.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans are zombies, but of course, being the birthplace of kaiju, they've got to be giant zombies.
Yeah.
So, and it works.
It does.
It works. It works really well. I think I read enough of the comics to make it into. I would have probably got to like the early half of the second season. So I mean, I'm way behind. But I've liked what I've read.
What was a major reveal that's happened to you? So we get a gauge of where you're at.
I think the most significant reveal that I remember, and I've forgotten everybody's names. The main kid whose mom dies in the first episode. Aaron. When there are other things that happened since then, but the big reveal I remember with him was the reveal that he was also a shifter Titan.
Yeah, he's the attack Titan.
Yep.
Yeah. And there are other things since then, but that was like the biggest one where it's like, oh, I thought this guy was dead, but
oh, okay, yeah, that's early season 1. I would say first half of season 1 when they attack the city and he gets eaten by the guy with the Santa Claus looking one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he kind of does. I remember that now that you say Santa Claus. It just light bulb. Like, oh, it actually is quite accurate.
Yeah, I remember he bites his leg off. I remember I was watching it and he bites his leg off, and then I think Armin tries to get him. He gets swallowed, and he gets swallowed. And I was like, did we just kill the main? Did we just kill the main character?
Yeah, his arm gets getting eaten up, like it gets in the bite, and then you're like, where the hell does this show go? Yeah. And he's dead already? I don't understand. Is this just going to be about Mikasa? Armin? I don't know.
I'm not going to front, though. Like, that happened, and I just looked it up. Does Aaron live? Because I'm not going to keep doing this.
Oh, you're a cheater.
Wow. I was just
cheating.
I was just getting back into watching anime. That was, like, right after I got back into it. Like, so I had watched One Punch Man and Brotherhood. So I was like, all right, let me check out this show that everyone cosplayed 3 years ago and see what's going on. So
I didn't start watching Attack on Titan until probably it was already past the second season. And I'm like, well, let me check this out. And then I didn't want to wait for the third season to come out. So I started reading it straight through. And then the new seasons would come. I'm like, oh, I don't remember what happened. Let's rewatch it again. And so each season I rewatch it. And I already know what's gonna happen, even though I read it all. So.
All I gotta say is that the show has fantastic animation. They really bring to life a lot of and I remember it was Tone showed Law to get him back in on the show. I was
just gonna say that's exactly how Tone did it. Like I watched the first season and I was like, cool, but it took too long between season 1 and season 2, so I lost interest. I was like, whatever. Yeah. I was like, whatever. If it comes back, but I don't really care at this point. Tone was like, nah, sit the fuck down. Watch this one clip. If you watch this one clip, you don't
Levi?
like it was Levi going the fuck off. And I was like, what?
The season 3 opener is so well done. Just so I think that was before they went to Mappa. I think that was the season 3 was the last year.
Yeah.
And then Mappa took over. And Mappa's been
Mappa?
The studio, the anime studio. So they took over. I forgot what name of the studio was doing it before, but they did season 3. So whatever that scene in the city and Kenny and all the other stuff, like that was all done by the previous production studio. So when Mappa took over, people were like, oh shit, I don't know if Mappa's gonna be able to do it, because season 3 just animation wise was beautiful. Of what they were able to do with the 3D scenery and the two
to look very like Demon Slayer like S levels of just like holy shit, that's clean.
I gotta say that this last episode, I know no one's seen it yet.
I have. I saw it just about an hour ago. So crazy.
It's
my god, it's so
beautiful. Good. I have to say that the whole series, and this is just for anybody out there who's interested in getting their projects like animation and everything. It is a great masterclass to see how they did battle scenes in this whole anime. Like in the comics and the manga, you see these beautiful scenes and everything is drawn on it because like it's drawn really beautiful. But in the anime, they really showed a lot of love to these scenes and just the movement and everything. It was just very fluid. And I'm like, Gary, this is one of the studios I want to animate for me. Let's go.
It is something else when you can take what's on paper with essentially just like, there's movement on this page because of how it's drawn, and you're like, and then you animate it and you take it to that next level. Like you put it, which I think is it's always like, you think you may assume people would think it's easy, but it's like it's not. Like you can completely destroy the source material.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Record of Ragnarok.
Don't watch that. We're saying don't watch that one.
I'm still
Matt.
reading it. I enjoy. I'm enjoying.
So sad about that one.
So I got a question for everybody, and Matt, this is specifically for you, bro, because you know what, you brought it up, kaiju fight. So we're gonna paint the big kaiju fight. So we're gonna have in one corner, we're gonna have Moby Dick back from the deep, and then in the other corner, we're gonna have the Colossal Titan. Who's winning that fight? Come on.
Colossal Titan? Okay, let's see. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Moby Dick. Titan.
So
I gotta go with my guy.
I honestly might have to go with Moby Dick only because we don't know how the Colossal Titan is in water.
So that means slow as shit, like he does on land.
That's the question here. Are we fighting on land? Because if it's on land, the Colossal Titan owns him. But if it's in the water.
But is it Armin's Colossal Titan or is it
someone else?
Well, because he hasn't seen Armin Colossal Titan yet. So it's fine.
Sorry,
it's fine. But
he's gonna catch
the original.
What's his name? I can't even think of his name now.
It's okay.
Reinhardt.
No. Reinhardt. Reinhardt.
No, wrong one.
No, it's
the one. He's a red shirt.
I know
the vacuum. The vacuum.
Yes. Okay,
think of the vacuum.
Bertold. Bertold was the
trying, Matt. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Vacuum. I don't know what the
Hoover. I think his name was Bertlow Hoover or some bullshit like that. I don't know.
Bertold. What the hell are you?
No, I just want to, because I never thought about it.
There's so many spoilers. We're sorry, Matt, because like we've all watched it. We're just like,
am I not supposed to say that? I'm sorry. I'm
normally we're very spoiler full episodes, so dialing it back to season 1 might be a little bit hard. We're sorry.
I'm hoping we get
okay. I'm the one who's behind, so it's on me.
No, that's a Matt. You're gonna pick it up again.
But enjoy it. I mean, take your time with it. Enjoy it when you can. I know life happens. It's just it's actually a very good story, and where it goes, you don't expect it to go.
Yeah.
So
that I've noticed from what I have read, and I think there are other things I remember. Like I remember I got to the point where the female Titan, and then I think I might have stopped around the part where the Beast Titan was being introduced. So
you got a little bit into it. All right.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what stood out the most, and Aaron's reveal was my big one.
If you get a Beast Titan, then you're good.
Yeah, you're invested.
Yeah, that's season 2.
Yeah, I got pretty far in there, but like I said, I kind of fell off.
What I really loved about it, reading it, because I was kind of on the same boat as Val. Like I watched season 2, and I was like, all right, I need to read this shit. I'm getting too much. As it really does that classic story theme of like you're reading and you think the enemy is X when the enemy is Z. And it does it in such a slow burn way, but the burn is worth it. As the world opens up and more reveals happen, it happens at such a really good cadence that you don't feel overwhelmed when new elements of the world are brought in. I thought that the show, a good
way to say it without giving away anything.
Yeah, it does it so well. It brings in a bunch of different complex ideas and tones that we deal with in society now, with the Titans being just an element of an allegory of something, like, in which it does it. Once you get to that point, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's one of those few times where you watch this show and you think, okay, there was going to be a live action adaptation. The right production could do it because of the stuff that happens with the people. The Titans are like where you put the CGI and the maneuver gear, right? But the story and all the nonsense that happens, it's the people, and that's what you're watching it for. And and it really does a really good way of doing that.
I think the thing that kept me going after season, because season 1 obviously opens with like a huge, everyone was talking about, holy shit moment. But like getting further into it, it's like what you said, Tom, where like you get to a point and they're like, all right, I'm going this way with the story, and they go that way. You're like, are we sure? Can we do that? Like, can we actually make this person do this and like this, arc do that? And it works so well because of how deeply they've like written this entire world and like all their characters. Like if you removed any character, any one plot point, I think the entire thing would fall apart because it's so tightly woven into each other that it's like, it's insane to think that even now with all the reveals that we're getting in the final season, we were talking about on the last time we all came together, where it was like, we did not see a lot of that stuff coming. Well, you guys did because you read it, but like still it's like, you don't see that coming. There's no way you see that coming. And then even when it happens and you get like another like reveal, you're just like, that wasn't a big thing. Like there's more. Come on, fam. Like,
I think what we want to say is just keep reading. It's good.
Yeah. If you thought that the Aaron reveal was big, just wait. There's a lot of great stuff. But Matt, I want to ask you this. So we're gonna bring it back to Moby Dick right now. So if you could have Moby Dick, Zombie Slayer, or Moby Dick Back from the Deep crossover, and again, with any movie monster that you can write in that book, or put them in any movie monster universe. Come on, let's see which ones you want to get your hands on, because I know you're a big horror fan.
Oh man, you got to put him in something. He's kind of limited since he's in the water.
Yeah.
If you and let's say you could write him where he gets something like he can get out the water or something like that.
The Meg.
The Meg.
Awesome.
The Meg's a good one. Yes, thank you. That would be good. That'd be fun. Yeah.
I just thought of what was in the water. Trying to think of another one. There was another one.
A specific rim. There's because they all came from the water.
Yeah.
Oh, all the kaiju's
you put him in a quick episode of Flipper just to kill that stupid dolphin. That'd be fun.
Leave the dolphin alone.
Oh my god. I would love.
He doesn't kill Flipper. He bites Flipper, and Flipper becomes a zombie. And now we got Flipper and Moby Dick terrorizing the seas.
Flipper will be worse because dolphins are assholes.
Yep. Dolphins are assholes. They're smart and they're fast.
Flipper becomes the apostle. He's an apostle of Moby Dick.
This just gets better.
Jaws. Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah, you could have had him in Godzilla versus Kong when the two of them are fighting on that ship and buoyancy doesn't matter. You could have Moby Dick just come out and slap him off the boat.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind bringing him over actually into Pirates of the Caribbean since that inspired how I
that
did
would
be.
I mean, that would be good because the curse and that being a thing, like them bringing back because they always bring stuff back.
They could use him as a submarine.
We could have him fight the Kraken from.
I was gonna say that I want that so badly,
but the Kraken got shafted. Yeah, I love those. I love those movies, but the Kraken got shafted.
It so did. It's like I was so excited for this big fight with the Kraken, and then in the third movie, there it is, dead on the beach. It's like, wait, what? Huh? What happened?
Yeah. Yeah,
did he just have a heart attack?
I was very I mean, so with Pirates of the Caribbean 2, I remember we wanted to go see it in the theater. And we're just like, you're 2 hours in watching the movie, and then they end it with Barbossa showing up, and I just sat up. I'm like, oh, it's about to get good. Credits. Son of a bitch!
Like what happened?
I love
to
Jeffrey Rush. Yeah. I love Jeffrey Rush so
great.
much in those movies. So
it's funny.
Oh man,
yeah. The third one had a great ending. I'll give it that. But losing the Kraken was, gosh, that's like who made that suggestion? Like, let's just kill it off camera and nobody will care.
Yeah,
the budget killed it.
We're the ones who care.
Yeah,
right. They don't care about us though. We just because we're gonna spend the money anyway.
Mm-hmm. Those are the summer blockbuster hits that we were gonna see no matter what.
Yeah.
We have how many now?
But 5.
I think there's 5. Yeah, 5 movies.
There's 5. They were gonna do a 6th. I don't know what they're doing with Johnny Depp because of what had happened, and so I don't know.
Yeah, he got shafted. That's not cool.
Yeah.
So if you were to so here's an idea. So again, a nice little spin-off of Moby Dick. As we brought in kaiju in this, and then again bringing up Attack on Titan and how it's like just zombie kaijus. How would you write that Moby Dick was the one that started the zombie virus for just nothing but zombie kaijus? Like you get zombie Godzilla, zombie King Kong, and then just start adding more into that. How would you write
zombie King Kong? Imagine he's the only zombie that actually doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
Oh, he just goes after other kaiju.
Yeah, he's their protector, even though he's a zombified monster.
Well, With Kong, all you got to do is distract him with a blonde woman.
He's such a buzzkill. Fuck King Kong, man.
Dude, the minute that movie
I love Kong.
Nah, the minute that movie came out, me and Toad were like, "Fucking Kong,
fucking Kong,
Godzilla
all the way." King Kong with his stupid fucking axe. Fuck you.
Man.
You're gonna get atomic blasted to the face, and you're gonna take it.
I will say, I am a huge King Kong fan.
Thank you.
But that movie was very disappointing. With the moment he walks into this Conan the Barbarian-esque throne room with an axe, it's like, who built that axe? That axe is as big as a building.
Where did that come from? What was the point of that?
So the whole thing to do is that the ancestors of Kong and Godzilla have been fighting each other because that axe has a Godzilla spike, which is why it was able to absorb the atomic blast.
Oh, is that what that?
And then get supercharged.
They don't explain that well.
They don't. It's all just imagery and like primitive paintings and shit. Mm-hmm. And that's how they were able to beat Mechagodzilla, because Mechagodzilla was throwing hands to both of them.
Yep.
Oh, he was, yeah. So I've wanted so badly to make like one of those TikTok videos just to piss people off, where Godzilla's like, "I'm king of the monsters," and Kong walks up and is like, "Well, I don't know, really. Like that Mecha dude was pretty much destroying you until I came along." Godzilla's like, "Yeah, but I stomped you." It's like, "Yeah, I know, but still."
The one before that, I enjoyed that one when they had Ghidra, Mothra. I enjoyed that one. That was a fun
one. Godzilla was good.
My favorite was the first one they did, and that's the way it is with every Godzilla era. The first one to me is always the best one because it's the most. It's like, I don't know. It's always mysterious every single time. The 1954 one, and I love that movie. I know it doesn't compare with special effects now, but for what it is, it's phenomenal. And then in 1984, that one is so good, and that's actually the first one I ever saw. And an exception is the Millennial series; those are all just rough. But then with this one, I guess this is the legendary era we're calling it. That first one where we barely see him. It just works to me. It's more exciting, and it feels more like plausible and real. To like by the time we're at this latest one where you got a giant lizard and a giant monkey stomping around in like is it Seoul, South Korea, where they're fighting there at the end?
I think so.
Some unfortunate Asian country.
Yeah, there's no like thought whatsoever to all the people in this city. Like we're seeing everything from like helicopter view while they're fighting.
I don't think there's never any thought in those movies. People live there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The first ones are always were. The first ones in every era, there's always that. Like the first 1954 one, there's like a really devastating scene where there's this mother cradling her child. She knows they're about to die, and she's saying, "It'll all be over soon. We're about to see your father, and it's going to be all right." And they die.
Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
it's deep and dark stuff.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, if you think about it, they blew up the Death Star twice and killed thousands upon thousands of people. But we're just going to hand wave all of that, all these people who were literally just working for a paycheck and weren't trying to kill innocents. They just got a good job with benefits. That's essentially
there's a big flip side with the dark side and the Sith and the Jedi, where you can really paint the Jedi in a really bad light, that they're not like, you're not supposed to have emotions, you're not supposed to fall in love, you're not supposed to like, and you can't feel like, how is that a normal human reaction? You're supposed to be the light of the universe. I don't understand that. And what if the Sith are just people trying to revolutionize and get out of that? Maybe they're the oppressed ones. And
they're definitely they're definitely I've always been Team Sith, but they are definitely the oppressors, but just enjoy the pleasures of life, and their whole thing is like, you gain power through that pleasure. But then the whole rule of tool thing, and like one's the apprentice, one's the master, and all the other, like their whole system is meant to fall in on itself, because you're killing your master and you can't build upon the knowledge of the past. But then you've got the regular Jedi on the light side who have this hubris that think nothing's going to get beyond them. And then, Palpatine showed us. So
right.
This actually brings up why I insist that part 8 is the best of the sequel trilogy, even though they all suck, because that one where Luke says the Jedi had it all wrong and this whole thing has to end, I was actually like, you know what? You got a point. Where are we going to go with this? And then they're like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Same. If
that
they
was
would have
probably
doubled down on that, like it would have been so good.
They
even
lost
if you
me.
proved, even if you proved him wrong, at least prove him wrong. And we never did. We just kind of forgot it.
They lost me when he did this.
That's fair.
Right.
That's when they lost me.
From the
I
very
was done.
beginning.
I
For
was
the
done.
very
I
beginning,
couldn't
it was like, what the hell is that?
Because Matt, to your point, I agree with that. I like that he went there. I like that they talked about that and they talked about the failure that was the Jedi Council, but I couldn't get past him tossing his father's lightsaber over his shoulder. I couldn't. I just couldn't get beyond it. I know they were trying to be something else, but when you end the first movie with her doing that, and then you open that first time relationship of him looking at this lightsaber, this tool that's gone through generations and years, and he tossed it over his shoulder, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
The importance of a lightsaber is a lot more. I'm just, you know what? I'm not going to comment on that.
No,
Don't
Val,
get
go
me
ahead. Go ahead.
started.
Tell them why you're mad, Val.
No,
Tell them why you're mad.
first of all, 8 is the worst one because they totally disregard everything that was built up in 2 different stupid ass trilogies, and then this entire story and animated cartoons, and then just made it trash. Like it didn't matter. It was just so. Anyway,
my feeling about it is the part 8 tried something new. They absolutely failed. They totally failed, but they tried. And like part 7, I was actually furious watching that because I was like, I've seen this movie. I saw this movie when I was 4 years old. You just made the same movie all over again with different people.
I wasn't furious about that. I think it was more to introduce to a younger generation who had no idea and give it a new light, a new updated feel. I was disappointed because I wanted more, but I wasn't upset because I understood why. And they had an opportunity to do so much more with it and just drop the ball. They dropped the ball for that series. I mean, it's just.
Oh, they absolutely did. Yeah, I completely
They're doing
agree.
well with the shows, though. I do like that they went and decided the time frame they decided to pick out with Mandalorian and with Boba Fett. That time frame, there's so much they can explore in
Pedro
that
Pascal
range.
is holding that franchise on his back.
Who?
Let's see. What is it? Star Wars, Marvel. What else has he built now?
Yeah, he's just got like that entire franchise is just riding on Pedro Pascal's back with the Mandalorian. It was. I that was my thing. So like I watched 7, and because of the disappointment that we had in the prequel trilogy, I gave it the pass that like this is just nostalgia, and they're using it in a way to bring back old fans and new fans into this new story. And I was like, all right, I give you this one. I was able to watch Force
Disappointed, but it worked.
And then I was like, all right, but now episode 8 though, like y'all got to take this and turn it into something else. And
they did
I think we've talked about it before, where it's just that Matt Reeves the guy who did
Ryan Johnson
who did Matt Reeves
Matt Reeves did the Batman.
Batman. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh wait, no, Ryan Johnson. They didn't have a plan when they let Ryan Johnson run and do his own thing, and it's like, you know, Captain Phasma was completely dismissed in that second movie. You set up a cool.
I was so mad about that because I was interested in her.
Yeah, there's a lot they could have explored with her. With what was the guy Andy Serkis character?
Who's Serkis player again?
Oh my god, Snoke.
Snoke.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Snoke.
Yeah, he got killed. Like they could have.
Yeah, it was
I think I out loud in the theater said, "Okay."
A waste of a villain. A waste. They gave us no story. They gave us nothing, and then just killed him off. And it was
I'm so mad we didn't get like Knights of Ren and all that stuff we were supposed to.
We got them on the last movie.
Even then, and then bring back Palpatine as it was just such a waste. The last
proper.
Yeah, that third movie was them trying to clean up and trying to appease fans and everything, and they did it all wrong.
But like,
hey Ray, I'm force sensitive too, or hey Ray, I love you. Just
they forced the relationship between those two. Also, it was just so.
It was rough.
We knew you were force sensitive the moment you picked up a lightsaber and went,
and you didn't kill yourself, and then
right,
and then we decided, and then y'all decided just not to do anything,
right, like
with FN 217. Like, come on, man.
Like, nah, Finn's not gonna train and nothing. It's all about Rey.
And he's like,
what?
I gotta tell you something.
Right.
I gotta tell you something. I'm like, you serious? We're gonna go with this whole thing that he feels like he's force sensitive? Like, that could have been. It could have been the journey between Rey and Finn, like learning the Force and maybe going through it a different way.
Would have they could have done something new with that story. Could have done a lot with that. And
I don't know. And then they we got to figure out how to bring Palpatine back, and it's his granddaughter, and he's been doing clones forever, and then he has these ships on this planet that have been there forever. I'm like,
and no one knew, and no one knew all this time. Yeah,
I actually liked the notion from the part 8 where it's like you're not anybody, you're from nothing. It's like, because that kind of goes back to what I originally thought with Star Wars. I thought anybody could be a Jedi.
Yeah.
In the original trilogy, there was no idea of like midichlorians or like birth lines and whatever. Just like, if some people are Jedi and some people aren't, and anybody can train. But then this, I just liked that, and then of course we dropped that too because she is part of a grand lineage. She's related to the Emperor. So
I was so mad because it was like, I was like so ready to be done with the Skywalkers. Like once they got rid of Han, I was like, oh man. Then we got I was like, looks like we're just like, we're bringing in everybody, but we're gonna like start fresh with a new story, new setting, new people, like whatever. And they were like, how about no?
Right.
How about no?
If you're gonna do something, like double down and stick to it. Don't go like, we're gonna do, and then like start backing up, because then it just looks sloppy at that point.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't know what they're gonna do now. It's like they're just stuck. They're stuck in this era before The Force Awakens.
Right. So, I mean, Rogue One is probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, Rogue One was a hit.
Entirely.
Rogue One was so good.
Still feel I'm the only one who still feels like, if it's one of those things where I was like, cool, we got it. It was all right, but like, we didn't need it.
No, you're absolutely wrong.
We didn't need it.
I disagree.
We didn't need it, but I enjoyed it a lot.
You could disagree all you want.
Did we need the Mandalorian though? I mean,
yes.
We did.
No, we didn't need any of them, but we like it and we want it. We
yeah,
want it all.
That's the key. You like it.
I think we needed the Mandalorian.
Exactly.
We needed the Mandalorian, I think, for adult fans of Star Wars to get back.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Because like Star Wars
Ahsoka's gonna be.
Ahsoka's gonna be. I think gonna be great, and
I need to see Thrawn. I need to see Thrawn. That would be so dope.
I think they're slowly going to retcon out those sequel trilogies.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think so too.
That's my prediction. Which is really just as well. Their biggest flaw is, like you guys said, it had no plan. Like the prequels have their problems, but at least you can tell George Lucas had a thread that he was weaving, that he was working toward, and he followed it through to the end. Whereas with these, it's just like, okay, that worked. Go do this. Now do that or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's like you got Jon Favreau and I forgot the other guy that are there now, kind of in charge of everything. Start with Dave Filoni, kind of in charge of everything.
Hopefully, he does what Fyke did with Marvel.
Well, I mean, he's been working with Feige for many years, so he definitely
I want
a lot
to
of
see.
stuff.
I want to see that because I know he would reinvent the entire universe. And
I think it's Dave. I think it's Dave Filoni essentially. So I think it's Kathleen Kennedy who runs Lucas. And then they gave Dave Filoni the keys to the castle. I think after season 2 of it was like a huge to-do about Dave Filoni being promoted because he is like the Star Wars encyclopedia at this point. Like he knows everything. So I think that's why they gave him a much larger role. So maybe he's going to have that Kevin Feige-esque role to kind of move it forward with the shows, because we don't know when we're getting a new movie. They're doing everything in shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not touching.
I believe we got Obi-Wan coming up soon, right? After Moon Knight.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's coming soon. And I want Old Republic stuff. I want Old Republic stuff so bad. I want them to touch Darth Revan. I want them to touch Darth Bane, like all the old Sith Lords. I think there's I think he will because of stories to tell from.
They can.
I want the dark times, the time between the two trilogies. That's what I want to see.
Yes, I would love to see that. When Darth Vader starts searching
Hunting?
for all the Jedi. I want to see him come across Ahsoka a few times. I want to see Rebels also get intertwined with that. That series was so good, and I mean, it's just.
I think we might get a lot of that with Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan, from what a lot of people have been speculating, is going to be real fucking tragic. Like, it's because you figure. You brought that one up already.
Yeah, you get Michelle's had the new. I think Micheal had the newest one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Those games are amazing. Knights of the Republic.
He knows to pretend that those last 3 were bad Chewbacca dream sequence.
Yeah, please.
A bad Chewbacca dream. Yeah, and bring back Han.
Yeah,
you know what? I just want to see a live, just like a live 15, like 10-minute segment of Chewbacca and Black Chrysanthemum just chilling and just beating the shit out of people. I would just love to see those two characters as meet on screen.
Cool.
Now, what they need to do a film where, like Han, where he fell off that bridge, he actually gets frozen in carbonite again and shot out into space, and he floats for billions and billions of years, and then he lands on Earth in roughly the late 1930s, thaws
and
out,
becomes
and takes
Indiana
the job
Jones
as an archaeologist. Since we're bridging the gaps here, that's what needs to happen.
Right, that'll work. That'll so work.
I want it. I'm all here for that.
I wish I could take credit for that idea, but I can't.
I would love to see a Thrawn series. I've been reading this trilogy where takes place after the fall of Palpatine.
The Timothy Zahn trilogy?
Yes. I'm on book 3 of that, and it's just Thrawn is so meticulous and calculating, and it's just an amazing story. And he brings back the clones, and I mean, there's just so much they can attack in the books, that legend books that they have, that to bring.
Oh, you're reading the original 3, not the republished.
No, the original 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's cool because Dave Filoni also too. He's worked on the animated stuff, so we're gonna get a lot of that stuff if things keep going well with the shows. So
I mean, that's the Ahsoka. Ahsoka said it. I think we're getting Thrawn.
She's looking for Thrawn. Yeah, she said it.
And whatever. I'm losing I forget his name, but I would assume that's what Ezra. Yeah, because she says.
I hope so.
I think that's what her show's going to be about.
Searching for Ezra.
I think that's what they're going to do. I mean, that's
if they tie in Rebels to it.
Yeah.
Which they might. They most likely will.
So it's been a fun night geeking out, guys. We're going to give Matt
the plug section.
The plug.
Get to plug away, Matt. Plug away that Moby.
All right. Well, as we said at the beginning, Moby Dick, Back from the Deep. It's the Kickstarter for the entire series because we just did the last issue. The story is about the whale returning in modern times as a zombified beast. And yes, it also features a zombified Captain Ahab because you can't have Moby Dick without Ahab. So if you want to go check that out, you can look it up on Kickstarter. Very easy way, just go to my website, just go to mattschorr.net. I've got a gigantic splash page right there at the beginning. You can't miss it. It'll take you directly to the Kickstarter page. So please go check that out. Help us have a good, successful run. And I would definitely appreciate it.
Oh, this has been an awesome geeking out night. So we got to geek out a little bit today. You guys have fun with that?
Oh, always fun.
Also the spectrum, but it's always good. No, man, it's always good having you on, Val. You know, always. And well, it's been a beautiful weekend, and as far as it goes, it's getting really beautiful outside, guys. So we're definitely looking to do more hikes, get more nerdy pictures outside, so we can just post more stuff on social media. So keep an eye out on our social media. Keep following us on Instagram, Twitter. So if you want any of more of that nerd news, I mean, we asked a question the other day: what do you prefer, the Snyderverse, or because everybody's like, bring back the Snyderverse after about the Batman movie? No,
let it die.
Yes, let's.
Yeah.
The Snyderverse works with Suicide Squad and Peacemaker as a complete joke. That is the perfect way to use the Snyderverse.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Let's just
thank you.
Do the Reeves verse. That's all I want now. I just want more Matt Reeves stuff.
Yeah, if he can reinvent the DC world and make it a continuity from what he just did with the Batman, even if it wasn't perfect, it worked well. And they can grow from that, and they learn from what they've already messed up. It would be nice. I know we're not going to get it from them though.
Yeah. Also, PSA that No Way Home is available for digital. So if you haven't watched it again, rent that shit, buy that shit, watch it again.
And just to give you guys a heads up, so next week, yes, we are going to aim to talk about Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer will be next week. We might dip into Halo because Halo comes out this week too. So we might, or we might this Thursday. This Thursday
Paramount?
on Paramount Plus.
Paramount.
I need that Paramount plug, guys.
I need it too.
You don't have it? Oh my god.
Are we really doing a Paramount thing?
It's Halo.
Oh, that's why.
It's
Okay.
Halo. It
Halo.
looks good from what I saw.
Damn it.
Apparently people the reviews are saying it's pretty interesting. So what have I been watching on Thursdays? Me and Jackie are usually watching some shit. So we'll see. Oh, there you go. You got yourself a hookup.
Yay! Thank you.
The connects.
There you go. But
Anyways, it's been a big.
Right.
No, yeah. So that's it. So Halo, Demon Slayer next week.
So just to let her. Also, another PSA. We will be discussing the finale of Attack on Titan. I'm sure if Val can make it, she will join us. Attack on Titan. This finale will be releasing not this week, April 3rd. So looking at our lovely calendar, we can discuss potentially Attack on Titan on the 5th, maybe even an extra long episode, because that will be episode 2 or episode 3 of Moon Knight, depending on how the release schedule goes.
Yep.
Yes.
And if you
Are we doing Demon Slayer the same night of Attack on Titan?
Demon
So
Slayer,
you're gonna be caught up?
I'm still watching. I'm almost done with season 1. So
Matt, there's another one that you got to read too. Demon Slayer. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with mine. Unless you guys want to go buy mine, then go ahead and confuse it. But.
Actually, we should have them cross over, and there you go.
That'll be dope.
Sorry, I couldn't let that go.
No, it's cool.
Perfect segue. Also, yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for anime, go to our, just put those recommendations on our Twitter page. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. We'll definitely look at those recommendations and all that and try to get them on the docket. But this has been your boy Sebastian.
It's been your boy Lo.
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
I'm going to roll that beautiful beam footage. But before we go, make sure you go into the description and support that Kickstarter. Ready? 3, 2, 1.